We don't wait for the rhythm to lead. We make the rhythm, we coach, we create, we lead the scene. Anything but routine.
So the other day we kind of were talking about, we were in a TWD meeting or Together We Dance competition meeting and started talking about the history of these events, how they've grown over the years, all the different things that have happened. And we thought it'd be fun to kind of just do a little informal interview with Cindy or discussion with Cindy on kind of how everything got started and the why behind it, I guess. So maybe that'd be a great place to start. Cindy is or mother is what was the idea behind starting these competitions?
Well, I think in the very beginning, we were so central Minnesota heavy that we just thought, let's bring these schools together and do kind of a little, we first called them festivals, and I don't think we had judging or anything, but then we went to have a judging, and it was just basically to promote excellence and, to be kind of like playing basketball and never having a game and you're just practicing all the time. And we would do shows, but we wanted to start competing. Cool. Mostly to up the level of excellence and get them going. And the first one lasted an hour and a half. It was only kick, and it was held in Brainerd, and we had judges come in, and afterward, the Monday after, I got so many phone calls because Brainerd sort of dominated everything. We didn't have class sizes back then, so Crosby was against Brainerd and Little Falls and Staples and all these different cities, so my phone was ringing off the hook that it wasn't fair. So my husband told me it was the most dumb idea I ever had. He's living to eat those words.
And I think that kind of goes back all the way to 1995-ish.
Yeah,
is kind of what I'm thinking here. So they've been around for quite a while.
Quite a while. They've just grown so much. It's daunting for our office, for our staff, and some of the areas. One of the reasons for growth is we added, like I said, the first years were just kick, so they were a lot shorter. But now that we added jazz, lyrical, hip hop, poem, what am I missing? And solos, the days have just exploded because most of the kids are, I would say a lot of our kids are cross training to the other styles.
For sure, and I think we probably also expanded, the ages and have started bringing in younger,
right?
Younger kids who start competing earlier than we used to do, which adds obviously length
to the day.
But it also, I think, again, in a discussion we had the other day, kind of talking, was it's raised the level for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Of these kids, and as them they get older, their teams are even more prepared and better off.
They lock in earlier. I was watching the TWD last weekend, and I was just blown away by the level of how good the kids have gotten. They've really gotten better. And, my daughter, Allie, who teaches in Brainerd, was like, I got to go back to the drawing board and try to beef up our dance because everybody's getting so good that it makes you want to, up your game a little. And that's the great thing about it. I think the other thing that has really helped are the cross training into the different styles, but the solos have made, I used to think solos were kind of dumb. I'm like, we're precision dance. Why are we doing solos? This was a long time ago that I thought that way. And boy, have I seen the fruits of the labor of the kids. And I always tell our soloists, I don't really want you to be thinking about, I have to win, which they still do to some degree. But mostly I want them to think about, I'm having to get out there on my own, carry myself, and do a great, you get better because you can't hide in the back row. You have to carry yourself and you have to be able to do all the skills. So subsequently, they're working on Sundays. They're working on their days off on their solo. And I think that's helped our teams immensely.
Yeah, for sure it has. So yeah, one other kind of fun fact, I guess, or something to talk about is I remember, years ago, you guys talking about one of these first events. I believe it took place up in Moorhead.
Oh yeah.
As the days as back then, obviously probably the timing of it wasn't as big as it is now, but we didn't do it how we currently do it, where we're going side A to side B or staggering award ceremonies throughout the day. What
Well, we used to wait and do all the awards at the end of the day because they weren't that big of events. And the one, when they finally started exploding a little bit, they weren't exploding yet, but they were getting large. We didn't think of, we better do intermittent awards during the day. And I remember the event, and I remember my kids that were dancing that year. It's kind of weird to think about, but we got shut down by the Moorhead Fire Marshal because there were so many people in the building. It was scary.
To the 1 award ceremony at the end.
End of the day, yeah. So everybody stayed all day. There was nowhere to sit. Where now we pretty much have it down to a science, and hats off to Amanda for that because she's the one that schedules all this. But it's like she's got a formula for how many teams we need to do, how many competitions we have to do before we clear the arena and move the crowd a little bit. And the A, B, I remember the other night I was like, I wonder why she has this going A, B, A, B. So the kids were facing different ways, and we had 2 sets of judges. Well, she was right. We would have been too crowded on one side, for sure. So we've
always a method of the madness.
Right there, and we learned all this in the School of Hard Knocks. The way it's so organized right now and run so well, I just have to say it's because of great note taking and going back and trying to get it better. Some of my high school kids just went out to a competition in Las Vegas, and they said it ran an hour behind, and people almost missed their flights. It caused a lot of confusion. So, we appreciate that we stay on such great schedule. Part of the people, one of the things that keeps us on schedule is you guys that announce. Joel's one of the announcers, Matt Wallace, Jared Hoppy, and Mikey. I can never say his name. Weiss and Flew. They keep us on schedule, and they know how long they have to get that crowd off the floor to get on to the next one. Everybody's excited when they win. They don't want to leave the floor, and you're having to shoo them off basically, but that's how you keep them on time. Yeah. This episode is sponsored by Just for Kicks Camp. We offer camps for coaches, studio owners, and dancers, of course. And some of our Minnesota camps boast 1,000 kids at them. We do camps on location at your school or studio if you wish. And boy, if you go to camp, you come home a stronger coach and way stronger dancer, and your team really pulls together. Click on camps on the Just for Kicks website for more information.
Yeah, so kind of, I guess, a couple more thoughts or questions like we talk about. The growth of these events through the years, and how many people it takes, right, to pull these off. Not only the planning and the packing of the trucks and the hauling all this stuff, but what's a typical day, one of these days, like for a Just for Kicks program director? Let's maybe start with director, instructors.
Okay, program directors. Like I was watching a couple directors on the last Sunday, which was more small tones on Sunday, and some of them had like 20 performances. And I've done all the different jobs, and I really feel being in the back with the kids all day is the toughest job. Like it's just like a little too much noise sometimes, a little too much confusion, and you're trying to keep every class up, and a different one comes in every hour or so, and you're just crazy, and you're out on the floor, but new kids are coming in, and so you have to have somebody back there watching it, and you have to be on. And one of the moms last night was asking me, how do you guys remember all those routines for all the ages? And I'm like, they just get in your brain. I don't know but that's definitely the hardest job. A lot of steps. I think at the Brainerd competition, the day I had teams competing, I had 13,000 steps. But I think the highest I've been at is nationals. I've been up to like 25,000 steps. That's running it too, though. You get a little crazy. So directors' jobs are hard. But I also think, I don't know how you guys do it, announcing all day. Like, what did you announce on Saturday from
7:30 in the morning till 9:15 at night, I think.
And no breaks hardly, like very little breaks. I know you don't eat the whole day, you do it. And but you have to sound as exciting at the end as you did at the beginning, and that gets really tough. But you have to be that way with the kids too. When the new kids come in, we were laughing that we have minis first, which is, we's and minis are kind of the hardest because they all have their parents there, and they have their dream duffels and their tents, and you're like, okay, we have no room to dance now and practice. But we were talking, would we rather have them at the end or the beginning of the day? And all the coaches were like, beginning of the day, because it's the hardest. But Okay, so let's talk about prep here in the office, what it takes.
Well, I mean, I think it's already, we're I guess getting closer to the end of another week where we're heading out later today. But the prep honestly starts the Monday we get back from the event with the unpacking of everything and reshuffling through things and organizing.
So for the store, for example, we now have
Everything.
don't we have codes on them now so they can get scanned, all the product?
Yep.
And one of the biggest things that was a change is our black cases. You've probably seen at the TWDs that the product is wheeled in and wheeled out. That was a game changer for us because we used to have cardboard boxes. I remember hauling them, and
Really cut down setup time.
yeah, it has cut down setup and then they stay in where they're supposed to be when they get back. We know it's organized. It keeps it organized. So that's great.
All that planning, then you have the, getting wristbands ready, getting all the
Reports of who's paid and who has it.
there, what towns are coming, have, the printing the programs,
Last minute changes. Oh, hold that program. You got, somebody.
all the different things. Yes. And then, so that's kind of the prep work into the week. And then it's also having meetings, planning, starting to talk nationals and all of that. But then at the events too, a lot of our office staff travel to these events, whatever town they might be in. And so it's you're kind of going 7 days a week.
Yeah, we call the Mondays after, TWD hangovers, and they are a real thing. And it really, you kind of don't recover the whole, I feel like,
Still don't know if we have from last.
yeah, I feel like we don't all the time. You're kind of just running on empty and adrenaline. But, and we always say, well, take a couple days off during the week. We tell people that, and everyone's like, we can't, or we won't be ready for the next one. And we do bring in a lot of temp people on weekends that don't work in our office, but I call them like the brains of the operations almost need to be here because they know what needs to be done next. So it gets really tough.
Kind of talk nationals a little bit, so maybe we could kind of get into that. We're gearing up for it. And this current year, just a couple also fun facts. When we're done with nationals, we'll have had 19 different events this year.
19 events, but that doesn't mean days.
No, we have 68 days if you include
Holy moly.
SDS stuff.
68 long days.
Competition, and obviously it kind of finishes with nationals, which is almost turned into an entire week-long thing at this point. But maybe kind of take us through anything on that, or
well, I just want to bring up the fact that we were having an event at you say the name of it,
RCTC.
RCTC.
Nationals.
It was our nationals at the community college in Rochester, and we were just outgrowing it. At one point, we were like, if it rains today, we are done, because our chute was outside, and we were just busting at the seams, and people were everywhere. It wasn't even safe, really. So during the day on Sunday, some of the main staff went over to the Mayo Civic Center where we now are holding nationals, and I had made an arrangement to meet with the people over there, and I have pictures where these guys are all walking behind me going, no way, we can't fill this, it's too expensive, we can't fill this place. And it is expensive, but boy, have we blown up since we've had it there. Yeah, for sure. I don't know how many performances are there that day, but we are on 4 floors, even contemplating 5. We think by next year we'll be on 5 floors. So that means, 4 announcers all day. It means judges like crazy. So let's talk judging. They have judging training in early, I think it's in December and January. We have a couple different ones. They're all virtual on a Zoom because people are from all over. So we couldn't come together. And we are having another one soon where they're pulling together and just recapping what's happened so far this year. But I think at nationals, we will have 85 to 90 judges. So it's just some people just running the judges. It's incredible. Mackenzie Graham's in her office here is now overseeing that, and it's like crazy to make sure, and to evaluate them, make sure they're doing well. At nationals, we go to dropping high and low scores, so we up how many judges we have from 3 to 5. We'd love to start doing that at more events if we could locate more judges. It's just hard especially during the dance season. A lot of our judges end up being coaches, and when the season's over, or college kids, and when their season's over, we can get more judges. So that's kind of neat. But let's talk solos a little bit. I think this year we are at 956 solos right now. That's just incredible. And all these kids have gone to a great deal of work, so we're excited about that. I don't know how many dances we're up to.
I can't remember that, but I remember for the meeting we were in yesterday, I think it was, as of right now, around like 7,500 participants. Wow. We'll be at nationals.
I know Rochester really loves it when we come to town because every hotel is pretty much full. I think they said it really gives a boost to their economy. Compared to other dance studios, comparing Just for Kicks competitions to those, I think one big difference, because we've checked those out and gone to them, is that we feel that we are really competing because we do first, second, third, fourth place or whatever. A lot of the other competitions, they come up with all these fake awards to make everyone feel like a winner, and we love everyone to feel great, but we have real winners and people that don't win, and it can be a problem, but we want it to be a real, like we're shooting for the stars, trying to get better type of situation. I think one of the neat things at nationals is the coming together of everybody. This year we have a team coming from the state of Washington for the first time. Last year we had Colorado come, so from farther away, we get the Midwest a lot, but it's harder to get some of our farther away ones. Okay, so one other thing unique to nationals is we do pin trading at nationals, and each of the cities has their own unique pin that they can do. And if they don't want to do that, they do the clothespins and they pin each other. I know I have a pin that they said they lost my pins, and I said, oh, no, they're not lost. They're in my closet in my office. And so they ordered 4,000 more. So I have a lot of pins if you need a pin from me. Did you get a pin?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you have a pin this year. So there's going to be a lot of, you got to go ask for the pins. And I will always do pictures if you want a picture. I never mind doing that. And something else unique to nationals are master classes where they're free. So it's just an added value for going to nationals. We will be having some days of clinics upstairs in one of the ballrooms where you can go up and work on your turns or work on your kicks or work on your leaps. And that'll be coming out soon, but plan to attend those because they're really fun. Can't think of anything else. We just are excited to get to Rochester and do that big national event. And hopefully we have a few more events left here. We have
Three more weekends.
Yeah, 3 more weekends, and then we'll be ready to hit nationals. So keep kicking. Thank you for tuning in today.
We make the rhythm, we coach, we create, we lead the scene.